650 coming to life. First hit! There it is. There it is. An outstanding selection of motorcycles. Bikes from all different areas and enthusiasts admiring. Even a high school bike build, the next generation. We've got a lot of amazing motorcycles to see here from Scotts Valley, California. What's up, motorcycle fans? Take a look around. We are in paradise. We're here for the second year at the Scotts Valley Motorcycle Concours and Swap Meet, and we got some great bikes to see. In fact, I want to find my main man, Clay Baker, who I'm sure you remember from our Meekum video. He's over here from Moto Nexus. And this is his brainchild, his creation. So Clay, so good to see you again.
Good to see you, man.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
Always happy to be here. And here's the deal, guys. We're gonna go with Clay's top 10 bikes. Are you ready to
top
pick
10? I'm ready. We're standing by it here. This yellow bomber.
Oh, this number?
Yeah, this is number 10 right here.
Take a look.
And I'll try to keep my hands off the bikes this time, but gotta get down for this one.
1973 Yamaha GT80.
GT80. So when you think of this period, Honda had their first release of the XR75 was the 1973 model, right? And Yamaha comes out with the GT80, right? So a little, let's up the CCs a little bit, but I love the restoration on this bike. The owner talks on his show board here about, it was a bit of a basket case, it's been restored. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know where you find parts for a Yamaha like this. I mean, they are hard to find, but this is definitely makes the top 10 list at the show today.
Really outstanding. Now, Clay, what are you looking for when you judge these motorcycles?
The first thing I'm looking for is originality, that the bike's got the right parts on it. Yeah, the turn indicators, this is a street legal bike, right? And that it's got the right exhaust, and that the motor isn't all carved up, and it's in clean condition. Lack of grease, for a show bike, things like that. But mainly I want to see originality, and then I want to see the quality of those parts. So you look at these rims, they're not rusted, the spokes aren't corroded. There's nothing like that going on. The paint job is very clean. This looks like an original paint job. It doesn't look like a show bike.
Super cool.
Over polished.
Well, there it is, number 10. Let's go find number 9. We got a lot of work to do.
We do.
And again, really appreciate you having us. There's the two-stroke. We've got a trials display. We've got so many cool motorcycles to see during this broadcast. Stay with us all the way till the end, and we'll see who our number 1 pick is. All right, well, that was a heck of a pick for number 10. Number 9, let's go take a walk.
Number 9 is going to be down the aisle here. It's not a Kawasaki, dude.
I love my Kawasaki's. Well, let's take a walk. Come with us. And Clay, while we walk, why don't you tell us about your impression of this turnout for this great event? It's
fantastic. We have over 100 bikes. A flood of bikes came in late last night while you and I were having dinner.
That's right. That's right.
But it's a beautiful facility. This is our first year at Scotts Valley High. We're hoping to be able to keep doing this. We'll see. But we just have 17 classes, right? Double the amount of trophies are going to go out this year to first and second place. We have a brand new class, the Rad class, celebrating that bodacious era of 1980 to 1999. And, there's just a lot of cool stuff going on. The trials exhibit, an air show, all kinds of stuff going on this year.
I love it. Well, like I said, I'm happy to be here, and everybody put this one on your calendar because they're going to do it again next year. Where are we at here for number 9?
So I'm going to give this one an honorable mention. It's not in my top 10. I love the CX500. My brother had one of these years ago when they were new, but we're going to walk down here because there's another naked black CBX.
Oh boy. I'm a big CBX fan as well. We see a ton of them at Meekum, and for those of you who do not know, the CBX, of course, is the 6-cylinder marvel put out by Honda. I think Clay's found a really, really clean one. Come look at this one, 1980 Honda CBX Super Sport. Wow,
1980. This is a lot like the one that we saw at Meekum, and very clean bike, beautifully, I assume, restored, but it's hard to say.
Sure.
But it's really clean. And I think the CBX is just such an interesting bike, but my favorites are these naked bikes without all the fairings and the luggage and whatnot.
Such an iconic and classic bike too. We're finding, it seems like we see more and more every single year at Mecum showing up. And this is just my favorite vid. You look down at the engine,
at the pipes,
the six cylinders. What do you talk about these Hondas? This visual right here, this is my favorite. Look at these 6 pipes coming out, so unusual for a motorcycle. What do you think? Overkill or appropriate for its time?
I think in its day it was overkill, but today we just love them to death, and I want one.
We love excess. Go figure, right?
We do. Well, I've got a 6-cylinder BMW at home, so but it's nowhere near this wide in the motor.
Beautiful bike, guys. 1980 Honda CBX, and we now look for pick number 8. All right, Clay, you got your work cut out for you here. Many different sections too as we walk over here. Why don't you tell us about the different sections?
We're going to go over to this new section called the Rad Class.
The Rad Class, what's that?
And so the Rad Class celebrates that bodacious era of 1980 to 1999. And we got the idea from the Rad Wood, which is a show entirely dedicated to that era.
Oh, wow.
And so, there was a lot of rad bikes from that time. And so what we've got here is a 1987 Honda Hurricane with a matching helmet. And I love this bike.
Wow. So this is pick number 8 right here.
Pick number 8 out of the top 10.
I gotta say, I've heard the name. I do not know much history about the Honda Hurricane. Are you educated on the history of this motorcycle?
Not heavily, but I remember when it came out, I was in college and I wanted one in the worst way. But then you also had the VFR 750s and stuff like that. That it was really hard. But the Hurricane is that sport bike that you could commute on.
It screams iconic 80s powerful sport bike. In fact, from afar, when I was first walking in, I almost thought it was one of the Top Gun Ninjas.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's very similar, isn't it? Very similar.
Type look.
I mean, the only thing that would make this more Rad Class appropriate would be lime green and pink paint. I mean, that's the era you see it.
Beautiful. 1987 Honda Hurricane 600 is pick number 8. That leads us to pick number 7. You're going to have a tough time here whittling this down.
Yeah.
Where are we going next, Clay?
Let me try to remember.
It's another cool feature, guys. It is the high school bike build. They are working on a 70s Mini Trail 50. These kids, this bike was long before their days. They're about 17 years old, I do believe. And right now, professor helping to troubleshoot. They tried to start it moments ago. Wouldn't start up. We'll check back in with them. All right, so now we head on over to this section, vintage off-road, officially known as
Competition Off-Road.
Competition Off-Road, very cool. That leads us, we're going to go way back for pick number 7. 1967 Bultaco Sherpa
T. And this was a Sammy Miller design. Sammy was a huge deal with these bikes back in the day, and frankly now the Sammy Miller bikes, the authentic ones, bring big money at auction. This particular one is just beautifully restored. I'm not going to go through what the heads are made of and all that kind of stuff. It's just, you look at it and it's just eye candy everywhere. But these bikes are fast and torquey. Just a fantastic competition dirt bike back in the day. And what's interesting is the Bultacos have become really popular lately. We sold one on Moto Nexus, got a premium price for it, and shipped it all the way to Anchorage, Alaska. And yeah, the guy just had to have it. It was a 360 MK model. And when we go to the Mecum auctions, there was this dead period a few years ago for these bikes, and now they're hot again. They're very trendy, very collectible.
Excellent pick for pick number 7. Let's go find number 6. Where are we going? We staying in this section?
We're staying in this section. We got one more that really,
off-road.
I mean, if you can't see it already.
I got to tell you too that how do you, this is such a tremendous turnout. How do you get the word out? How do you market? How do you promote around it?
It started with a small group of friends. I think we had 20 bikes at the Moose Lodge a few years ago in Scotts Valley. And then, we all know somebody who's got a collection and they know somebody. It's that network effect.
It's grown
so
into this.
If you can't see my next pick, you're blind.
Well, there's a lot of good ones. So I mean,
know,
you got to,
I know.
I had a feeling. Oh my gosh, guys, let me take a look at the year. 1969 Ducati 450, and it is about as shiny can be.
Yeah.
Clay, tell me about this beauty.
Isn't this gorgeous? So I love Italian bikes anyway, but to get an Italian comp off-road in the show is fantastic. This is just eye candy. This is jewelry to me, right? When I look at this bike, everything is flawless. And this is the kind of bike that, 100-point show bike you're going to take to, the Quail or a show like this. And I think this has got a really solid chance of being a contender for first or second in this class.
Yeah, shiny as it is too, I wouldn't say over restored. I'd
No,
say it's
no,
polished
not at all.
just enough to
No,
look
not at all.
correct.
For an Italian bike, I find this appropriate.
My goodness, gotta love it, Ducati. So that is number 6. We are now into the top 5. Are you ready for this? I don't know if you're going to be able to pick a top 5.
It's going to be hard. One of the classes that we have here is the British class, and normally we get 2 or 3 bikes. The British class is one of the largest classes in the show today.
Okay.
And there's some serious metal over there.
What kind of stuff to see here? Takes a lot of skill. Whoa. Oh my goodness, nice. Love it. I told you we got a lot to see. Before we get to 6, I have to show you a one-of-a-kind Yamaha. All right, guys, here you're going to see something like you've never seen before. 75 Yamaha DT125, but look at the engine. It's a 01 YZ125. I want to see if you could start this thing. What a Frankenstein. What a monster. What a beast. About 25 years separate the engine and chassis. The old silencer with a new FMF pipe blacked out.
And the coolest feature is got the radiator snuck under the pipe guard.
That's amazing.
At first glance from a distance, you don't even notice.
How in the heck did you get this idea?
Well, I built it all. No, I didn't. I'm not that good. I saw it on eBay, and I had to have it, and I won it, and it's just a little monster.
What an awesome bike. It is a monster indeed, guys. One of a kind Yamaha DT125 chassis, 01 YZ125 engine. My friend, thanks so much for showing me.
Thanks. 2-stroke Tommy.
2 strokes forever. So many motorcycles to choose from. Where are we headed next? I noticed. I don't know if this is the section we're heading, but it's not just big bikes here either, is it?
I love the little bikes, and they're so emotional for a collector.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to go over here and look at these 2 bikes to my left.
Oh, piece of history. You know, we saw so many of these at Mecum auction and elsewhere, and what drives this market? It's nostalgia. This is what guys grew up on. This is what they had when they were kids.
Yep.
The Honda Mini Trail, so legendary. And now everybody, as guys make it and get successful, they want to
buy them, and they want to restore them, and they want to bring back that memory from their childhood.
So is this number 5 right here?
Well,
or is this is a 71
so
Honda
I've got a
Z50.
tough call here, but I'm going to call this my runner-up.
Okay.
This is my number 5 pick, the Bonanza. So here's my rationale.
69 Bonanza BC.
When you were a kid, you started on a mini bike, often a Taco or a Bonanza, something like this. This bike has been souped up a bit. That's not the motor it would have shipped with, right? And it would have had a Briggs & Stratton motor down there like a lawnmower. And the tank made it so cool, and the headlight, it was more motorcycle in a Bonanza than the earlier mini bikes or the other mini bikes of its time. This is also what Haas Cartwright rode around the sets for the Bonanza show. So when I look at the Z50 models, these are so popular. There were just gazillions of these made, and almost every kid who was learning to ride would then step up to something like this before they would go to an XR like that GT80 or something like that. And so while I look at this bike and the restoration is really beautiful, it's a great bike, totally rideable, this is just so unique, you know, for the mini bike era. And it's what I remember from living in Southern California. You didn't leave a mini bike alone. You did this kind of stuff to it.
Super cool.
I knew guys who put McCulloch chainsaw motors on their mini bikes. So
Gotta love it.
That's my number 5.
Piece of history, guys. 1969 Bonanza BC 1500 SH. That leads us to pick number 4 here from Scotts Valley. Where are we going, Clay?
We're going to the British class, and this has got to be the hardest group in the event to pick from.
Well, let's head on over here, guys, and let us know your thoughts down below. If you see any motorcycles that catch your eye, if you have any memories of any of these bikes, we want to hear about it down below in the comments. And we still got 4 more picks. I don't know how.
So we're going to start with this VELOCETTE. This is not my my pick for this number. I'll show you my
not
next
a pick.
pick.
It's honorable mention.
This is a 1946 VELOCETTE KSS 350. Absolutely gorgeous bike. This bike was so iconic from its era. And
it looks very original too, huh?
This is not my 4th pick because it's my 3rd pick.
This is your okay. So we
got out of order.
Here.
I just had to come to this bike.
Okay, so you like it this much?
I do it. I like it that much. I think it's just amazing. And that fishtail exhaust pipe just sucks me in every time. I just love it.
That is super cool.
And,
what do you think the value?
And this bike was not over polished. It's not been repainted. I mean, this is a bike that somebody's loving and riding and preserving.
Well, if you had to put a value on this motorcycle, what would you?
You know, I'm not sure. I'd probably have to research this one. You know, and that involves going through making sure everything is original and parts and all that. And if the owner is here, are you the owner?
No, I'm a judge.
Oh, okay.
He's a judge. He's taking a good look at it. So
that's been modified.
Okay, that's be the first thing that I'd be looking for is how much originality is in the bike. But I still like it as my number 3 pick.
Very cool. So the judge says it has been modified. What modifications are you seeing here, Judge? Let's see.
Typically, you're seeing like the oil tank has been cut away.
Oil tank's been cut away. Okay.
There's a wrong type of carburetor on it.
Okay.
Got a head road temperature thing. That's actually, you see a lot of these types of bikes.
So Jack, that's why it'd be so hard to just give you a number off the top of my head.
Right.
Is with a bike like this, you really have to go through every detail to see every nut and bolt is right or not.
Well, it's a resto rod.
Right, exactly.
Correct headlamp. My son Gabriel is also a judge.
Thanks for being here, Gabriel. We appreciate it. Thank you. Nice to see some youth out there.
Judges. Yes. And so something like this, I like the fact, like you were mentioning, it looks like it's the original paint. It looks like a rider. And I admire that because there's an awful lot that's correct here.
I gotta point something out before we move on to my next pick.
Okay.
Nope.
Well,
Stay here.
Okay. Hold on.
I want the whole world to see that this isn't a bunch of gray-haired old men doing this. We've got young judges doing these shows, and over there we've got a bike build where high school students are building a motorcycle on stage. So, come on kids, get involved.
Actually, my son is 15 years old. He is an AMCA certified judge. He's been one now for 3 years.
AMCA certified judge for 3 years.
Awesome.
15 years old.
Great job.
Get involved. It's a kick.
Good stuff.
I just did a 1,000-mile rally up in Oregon on this, and it ran perfectly throughout the whole week. And then I came back. I went dune buggy riding on the sand dunes there with some of my friends.
Nice.
And I got back last Wednesday evening, and I hadn't had time to clean it or polish it. And I thought, just write it down as it is. And I rode through all the rain up near Alice's, the low cloud, and my jeans got all wet, my jacket got wet, but it was okay. And so I just brought it here. I've done over 20,000 miles on this bike, and my mother actually bought this bike for me.
Oh my God.
I had a good mom.
That is awesome. Don't hide them, ride them.
1946, 350, and it runs very sweet. It'll do about 70 flat out. Acceleration isn't very good, and that's about it.
Thank you very much.
I've lived here for 45 years. Thanks.
Thank you. That was super cool.
One more thing I would like to say about the VELOCETTE Mark II overhead cam made. Probably one of the most dependable and reliable Mark II overhead cams ever made. For lack of a better word, the KSS engine is pretty much a specialized production type bike. Everything was hand fitted, which was very unusual back in the day for VELOCETTE. But VELOCETTE, that's what they did. They have a very long racing pedigree, and the overhead cam engines, some of the best made, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Clay, I can see why you went out of order because we come over here. Everybody wants to talk about this bike. So much nostalgia, so much history. I'm certainly learning. I love it.
With more information like that, I'm inclined to say this should have been actually the pick.
I
can't change it up now. But I didn't have all that information when we walked over here. So
this man's like a prime Peyton Manning calling audibles at the line. Well, this is 3. We got to go find 4 before we go to 2 and 1. We got to get 4, right?
4 and 3 are just down the row.
Wait, I thought this was 3.
This was 4, wasn't it?
Well, it was supposed to be 4, but then you bumped it up to 3.
That's right. So we'll go look at 4.
Hey, I got to stop along the way too because look, we found a Land Speed bike ZX14 with a Brock's pipe, and you're telling me, Leslie, you are the rider of this?
Yes, I am.
You're
I'm
awesome.
the rider.
What's it like to ride this thing?
As long as you hold on, it's amazing.
Hang on tight, guys. You will see it all here at the Scotts Valley Motorcycle Show, including a Land Speed ZX14.
A little bit different is a 1951 Sunbeam S7 Michael Preston.
All right, we are rocking and rolling. We got to get to pick 4. Remember, we went out of order here, unless you never know what Clay is going to do. Whoa, 1951. We're going way back. 1951 Sunbeam S7. What are we looking at?
Again, another quintessential British bike that this one has been beautifully restored, really loved bike. I mean, the chrome is in beautiful condition. Some of the ones of these I've seen, they're not chrome, they're nickeled. And those are just stunning. Maybe not original, but I'm looking over the detail of this bike and it looks all original to me. You know, the judge would probably give us a little feedback, but I just love this bike, and it's so modern for its time, right? Some of these bikes require a lot of knowledge. We're going to look at one here in a minute just to get them started, but these bikes are actually fairly modern. Still got, you know, carbs with push-pull cables, but I love this bike. The other reason that I love this bike is my business partner, he has a family member that had one of these, and he keeps a picture of it on his phone and can't wait to show it to anybody who's into motorcycles.
Super cool.
Yeah, so, but I just love the Sunbeams in general.
Good choice for pick number 4. We skip down to the final 2 left. Choose very carefully, Clay, because there's a lot of good bikes left. I know it's going to be hard to
There
pick
are.
just
So this next pick, I'm going with historical significance.
All right.
And number 1 is going to fall into that category as well. But it's not often that you see a bike with original antique Lucas headlight and all of, just, you got to have a look at this
All
one.
right, that sounds like we're going way back. We got all years covered here. I'm going to have to check the placard to actually see what year this is.
1914 Premier Brighton.
1914 Premier Brighton. Oh my goodness, this is back when motorcycles looked a whole lot more like bicycles.
This was the transition from bicycles to motorcycles. And I love that this bike has not been over polished or re-nickeled and chromed and stuff. It's just gorgeous the way it is. And this is the sort of bike that I would love to be able to ride. Not as a daily rider, of course, but just to have the experience. I love this thing to death.
Super cool. You know, expanding on the conversation you and I were having at dinner yesterday off camera, just a big question with these older bikes. We're talking a motorcycle that's more than 100 years old. Who knows how many owners and what's happened? Who is even left that can authenticate and verify this
That's
stuff?
the thing. So a lot of this information does get passed down, like through these judges that work AMCA events. There's a lot of historical information available. In fact, an organization that anybody can go to and get this kind of historical data is the Antique Motorcycle Foundation. They have a library, and at all their events, they bring a scanner, a book scanner, and they scan any documents that people bring in and put them into the library. It's all there for everybody to use. And so you could probably find an original brochure for this bike at the AMF. So take a look at the library at the Antique Motorcycle Foundation.
Well, certainly passed the eye test. It's got just enough patina to be authentic, and it's beautiful. I love it. And the fact that you can tell that this is something that they don't even clean these bikes. That's a form of making it less original than what it is.
Well, and when you have these exposed valve rods and, you know, look at the spark plug, there's no wire caps or anything. You know, this is the way they were built back in the day, and this was state of the art. You know, imagine these carburetors, you know, the way that they were built and designed and probably hand tooled. So
when you have something this old,
I just love it.
All the antique collectors, you know what they tell us? Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Right?
It's only original once.
You don't want to go out, even as crazy as grabbing some polish in a microfiber towel. You don't want to do that. You might wipe away something original that's 100 years old. So, very, very cool. That leads us to pick number 1. Big
number
drum
1.
roll. You know what we're gonna do though? We're gonna give. How about we give a bonus Jack 3? Would our lovely camera woman appreciate that before we come back to the number 1?
Okay,
quick,
we'll do that.
Quick number 3. Come on with me, because I'll do it quick. And I know exactly the section we're going to go. This is probably no surprise to Clay that we're going to go back to the Japanese section real quick before we get Clay's top pick. And that's what's cool when you come to a show like this that has so much variety and something for everybody. I mean, if you just look right now on this football field, I'd say there's an equal number of people, some over here in the vintage motocross section. I could get lost over there. I better not even get started over there. Some over here in the rad section that you had discussed. But you know my top pick. is
Yeah, I
going to be.
know where we're going.
You know where we're going. Now, Clay, while we walk, where can people find out more information about this show if they want to come next year?
You want to go to motocharities.com and all the details of past shows and this show, and we'll start listing the future shows, next year's show, before too long.
Very cool. All right, well, I can see, I'm going to give you Jack's top 3, and I can see one right here. We're going to start with 1976 Kawasaki KZ900 LTD. My dad has the green KZ900. The LTD had the mag wheels and some nice features on it, and this one is just very, very original. It's beautiful. It's when Kawasaki went from the Z1 to the KZ. The next year it would be the KZ1000. And in fact, if you don't mind, there's another one down here, so it's going to be tied for 3rd place. And what's really special about this one, if you come with me, is it's got what many say is the best sounding exhaust pipe ever on a Kawasaki KZ.
The Kerker kicker.
And that is the Kerker. I love the original exhaust on the other one, but this one has the Kerker. So beautiful, I love it. Right next to us, pick number 2. You can tell my dad cursed me because it's another bike that he owns, kind of. He's got the S2 350. There was the S1, which was the 250,
right.
The S2, which was the 350, and then the S3, which I believe was the 400. But if you take a look at this, guys, this was a mean motorcycle in the 70s. Very snappy, 3-cylinder, 2-stroke triple, 3 exhaust chambers, 3 cylinders, 3 carburetors. These things smelled great. They sounded great. They weren't quite as wicked as what's known as the Widowmaker 750. These ones were a little more modest and a little more controllable.
Very unique power band on a Widowmaker.
But I'll tell you what, you could get in trouble on one of these too,
yes,
especially if you were a novice rider and you cracked that throttle. So that is pick number 2. My number 1 pick, talking about you know I love my 2-strokes.
Yeah.
And I shout out to this Kawasaki KZ650. That's honorable mention over there. But number 1 for me has got to be the Kawasaki 500 Mach 3. Speaking of the Widowmaker moniker, you may know this better than me. I call the 750 the Widowmaker, and I think most people do.
Yeah.
Some will get into debate that this was the original
Widowmaker.
Yeah,
I've heard
the
that.
Kawasaki H1 500. This one's 1974, and just an absolute monster.
I think anytime you've got a triple, you just have an unusual power band. And I think where people got into trouble was you're in an upper gear and you give it more throttle, and all of a sudden there's this new torque that you weren't expecting. So I don't know, everybody's got a little different opinion about what was causing that, but yeah, it was a lot of power and a very lightweight bike, and it was pretty easy to kick that rear wheel out from under you.
Well, what I love coming up here to this area is clearly you got some 2-stroke enthusiasts in Northern California.
Absolutely.
San Jose area.
We're still burning oil here.
I love it. That's Jack's top 3. And now, sir, the floor is yours as we go to find number 1 pick.
It's a hard pick.
Before we make that difficult number 1 pick, let's see if those high school kids were able to get that Honda Mini Trail started. It would be no easy task.
Let me tell you something, gang. I am so proud of these kids, not even knowing what a screwdriver was until today. They took this bike from a rigid bare frame and made this bike run. So hats off to my high school kids. I have your awards here.
Let's start it. Let's start it up.
Gas to start and run. Key. Straddle the bike. There you go.
She's careful, son.
Yeah! Is that something or what, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so.
I really hope you guys are enjoying this. Well, Clay got the whole shot on me. He's already over here, as you can tell. I think his number 1 pick is attracting a crowd. I'll try to part the sea, and we got to find out. Oh boy, 1969 Scott Flying Squirrel, and oh my gosh, is this a beauty, Clay?
So our wonderful camera lady and I were at the barber and saw an original Scott Flying Squirrel, which was stunning. This is a really special model. two-stroke, oil injected, upside down forks. The board says it's one of 2 that was built in the factory in '69. I think this is just stunningly gorgeous in this condition. And you know, this is the kind of bike that I just love and I would want to be riding all the time. You know, it's obviously it's a collector's item.
I've never seen one. How rare do you think this motorcycle is, especially in this condition?
You're the owner? Yeah, it's one of 2, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on. Built maybe 5 after that. Yeah. What
How
can I
rare,
have?
sir?
Pardon me?
How rare?
Very rare, and I think that as I said, '69 they only made 2. So in these days, once you got up to the end of the '60s, early '70s, they only built them when someone ordered one. You had to buy from the factory in England, and then they'd fabricate one. Here you go, buddy. So I've never seen one newer than '71, but the best literature I have says they kept dribbling them like that till 1978, and then they're out of stock and making them.
And I'm hoping you have no children and are looking for somebody to be the next caretaker.
I do, but they don't want them. I have wonderful children, but they don't want the bikes.
Okay. Yeah, so you keep my website and number in mind.
Okay.
And how long have you owned the bike?
About 10 years. Yeah.
How would you describe a ride on it?
Very smooth. It is not like a modern two-stroke. It has no expansion chamber. It has no exhaust tuning going on. None of that happens.
And there's no mixing of the oil and gas, right? It's
You
an
don't
injector.
pre-mix it. It has a little pump.
Yeah.
So it automatically injects oil. I mean, it
Right.
has a separate oil tank. So it injects oil into the engine by itself. And
Yeah, Suzuki made a line of bikes, the TS like 185s and whatnot. That had an oil injector in it.
Yeah.
But very, very handy. Yeah, to get a two-stroke without all the mess of
yes,
mixing.
yes. And that's kind of funny. Scott always had that ever since they were
Yeah, it's incredible.
began, you know. But it's smooth. It's not terribly powerful. It sounds like an Evinrude. It doesn't make two-stroke noises. It just doesn't.
Great
Yeah.
bike. Clay, are you ready to land this plane?
Yeah, let's land it. This was
Wow.
pick number 1 for
Man.
Scotts Valley Motorcycle Show.
What a great pick is.
in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
As we, I mean, this is just outstanding. This has
Congratulations, it's a
been so
beautiful
much
bike.
fun.
Thank you.
I collect very rare bikes.
Just really, really beautiful. I mean, that's why you got to
Isn't
come
that
to
stunning?
shows like this. You never know what you're going to see.
It's just the historical significance. Look at the way the exhaust is made.
That's impressive.
Right, and that's all water cooled.
That's impressive. 1969 Scott Flying Squirrel. We'll see what this placard says. Twin cylinder, water cooled 2-stroke, oil injection. No premix on this one. Upside down forks. Bike is one of only 2 assembled by the factory in 1969, by which time they were only built to order. Production ended 1978. What a beautiful bike from Don from Novato. How far is Novato, California?
Novato,
Novato, thank you.
that's up north of us here. So towards wine country area.
Man, Clay, this has been so
2
much
hours.
fun. Thank you very, very much. Something I want to talk about before we go, though, this was the perfect segue. You were asking this
Yeah.
gentleman, let's be honest, unfortunately, a lot of people who own these bikes are getting older. We never know what's going to happen. You and I had a long, in-depth conversation about a great idea that you had to try to protect these bikes and the loved ones.
Yeah,
of these
and
people. Tell me
thank
about
you
it.
so much for bringing that up again. It's an issue dear to my heart because the collectors, like the gentleman you just saw, we're all aging out. And the guys that I do this show with, I'm the kid at 64, right? And so we're seeing a younger crowd, 30 and 40-year-olds who are buying them. But a lot of these collectors, like this man just said, his kids aren't interested. They don't want it. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to ride it or maintain it. And so he's going to have to sell it one day. So Motonexus, we created motonexusgarage.com. And it's a place where somebody like this could go and catalog everything about this bike so that the next generation or the next auction house knows exactly what this is. And the wife, the kids, etc., don't get taken, you know, because they don't know what it is.
Yes.
And I think that's a really, really important thing. So we're trying to get more people to get involved. We've made motonexusgarage.com really affordable, easy for any member of the family to be able to catalog what's in a collection and have that information when the time comes to sell it, pass it on. Just remember the stories that the collector had, or send it to an auction house. All the data that they need will be in there.
I think that is a wonderful idea. None of us ever want to think about leaving this world, but unfortunately it does happen. And if you do, you want your loved ones to know what you had. We've
Absolutely.
seen widow hunters out there that will end
yeah.
up getting a bike for pennies on a dollar because she didn't know what she had. The family didn't know what to do with it. So I think that's a great idea. Where can they find out more info about this?
Go to motonexusgarage.com or motonexus.com, and there's links to get over to the Garage app. This is, you know, a collector's legacy. They may have been doing this for 40 or 50 years, and now all of a sudden it just blows to the four winds, right? So, you know, protect that legacy, but more importantly, protect the value of it, because 50% or more of the value is in the title, the registration, all the paperwork and the documentation that goes with a bike.
Great show, Clay. Really appreciate being here. Make sure you check out the video we did from Meekum, which was a lot of cool. He picked out his top 10 Hondas. I think he did a great job with his top 10 today. And by all means, make sure you're here next year. Scotts Valley Motorcycle Concours and Swap Meet. It's always a ton of fun. Thanks so much, everybody. If you like this video, here's another one for you. Subscribe right in the middle. And you know, if there's anything faster, classic motorcycles, Cycledrag is in. From Scotts Valley, Cycledrag
And Moto Nexus
rolls on.